Hi, David. I'm going to sit on my counter here. It's cold outside. Another message from you that gives me a lot to think about. You talked about um, the blows that can happen in life, and how you specifically described the Path of Wildness as being a way of recovery and getting back, and you used the word childlike. It's interesting, and I hope I'm understanding right. You said it's not like returning to childhood. We might at first mistakenly call it childlike, but I think that that's only because the necessity to grow. Garrett, I did misunderstand. You were saying we mistakenly call it childlike. You're right. There is something. There is something that now those of us anyone who sees this may not know the context. The Path of Wildness is basically what I call what I describe as following as any route. It's not is physical or mental, where you basically are heeding instinct. I think about animals that basically, I spend so much time in the wild, and I find the animal paths that seem to be going. And I follow tracks where they seem to be going places more guided by their instinct, by their hunger, by their thirst, whether it be leading them of thirst that leads them to the river, or hunger that leads them to the hunt, or a herbivore headed to berries, or a spider dangling in its web, heeding the vibrations that are going on all around it on its web. Basically, there's a little cogitation. There's not a lot of thinking going on. We human beings with our big brains can think ourselves out of what might be more instinctual, and really it comes down to being more instinctual, which, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, and it can get you into a lot of trouble. Instinctual actions, reacting on instinct, can get you in a lot of trouble, but can also lead us to find fascinating places, and can also be the thing that breaks us out of the rut that we can get ourselves into when excess thinking, excess worry in particular, ceases our forward motion, as you described. Huddling in a corner through inaction due to loss or perceived fear of loss. Is that what you said? Yeah. No, oh no, that's back. See, whenever I read that, it always goes back. Excuse me for just a second. I want to capture what you said right there. You said. Oh yeah. But I have to say that at least this right now, I think that your image of the old, or presumably old, person hunkered down in anxiety or fear, presumably after a blow in life, is a cautionary tale. I emphasize, yes. I empathize, yes. There are blows in life. Absolutely right. It's like being injured. When those things happen, they can really cause us to close up. And one way I believe to get out of that is to feel your way onto the path of wildness. Which is not a path that's clearly defined. It's feeling. It's every single step is almost instinctual and moving despite our uncertainty. In many ways, because of our uncertainty, or led through uncertainty to a place that may not be safe at all. It might be quite dangerous, but at least it's it's a venture of sort. It's an adventure of sort, which really it all comes down to me. For me, is adventure. What I would probably substitute. You cautioned against using the word childlike. I would agree with that. I think that it isn't childlike. It's quite not. It's quite unchildlike. Although children are readily able to step upon the path of wildness due to their innocence, and they're basically the lack of the engagement of higher thinking towards critical evaluation of the world. They do that less than adults do, I think, and so they have that. But what I would probably say is that it has that innocence to it, but it also, if anything, it's more beast-like. Walking the path of wild. It is beast-like. It's beast-like in terms of being able to trod through filth, not filth isn't the right word, but mud, and through the cold, and difficulty, and to engage in the hunt, and to be willing to kill, not in fact, or maybe in fact in some cases, but certainly not one another, but willing to kill, to separate, to disengage, to relinquish, to grab onto something new, to recognize when one is beaten, like a beast can, and turn around and flee, and to to be willing to fight for a trophy of some sort, or a right or opportunity, which in fact will itself probably be only momentary, and without really thinking about how it will be momentary, and what the consequence will be. This type of thing is living, almost like, as people like to say, living in the moment. That is what the path of wildness is for me, in terms of allowing me to, I put on this, it's for me, it's symbolic. I put on this hat now and step out, and I seek the path. I look for the way that my footsteps can go within reason. I got from 7 to 4:30 every day. I have to be on the path of my job. But it doesn't mean I can't cerebrally do it when I have moments. But otherwise, when I have my time is my own, and especially when I'm in the woods, then I can walk. And this is leading me more and more to a realization that my venturing out has to be solo, because you can't walk on the path with others. It's not a group thing. Thanks, David, for writing again. Your messages always stimulate thought, and I really enjoy seeing your perspective on things. And thanks for watching with popcorn. That made me happy. I don't know why, because I like watching with popcorn too. I do appreciate it. Look forward to your next message, David. Take care. Have a great day.